Another week at Kentwood. And it's getting chillier.
It's fall.
It is fall. Yay!
Leaves are changing colors.
Well, you can't see them in this video.
But they are. So, in this video...
And other things are changing colors. Totally missed that segue, but it was like really good. We're still gonna...
It's so good.
We're gonna run with it.
Yeah, pretend like we didn't just miss that. And other things changed colors too.
So, that was our big project of the week. Wrapped up last week with Mom as our visitor and our new window.
You saw the painting of the brick.
So we got primed and painted for our brick, and then next came the whole rest of the house.
Yes, and then the blue happened. But first the primer happened.
Yes.
And before that the power washing happened.
Yes.
So you're going to see a whole bunch of everything, and it's going to cover from the power washing to the touch-up painting at the very end.
Yeah.
Which it turned out really nice.
I think so. Learned a lot for the next time we paint a house,
Yes.
I think. But yeah, and we'll get to chat a little bit more about that in our videos, so you guys will have to check that out.
Sit back, relax.
See you soon.
Look, it's me, power washing.
Look at you go.
Finishing up from last week, using something called TSP. That's what is in the bucket and with the brush. It's supposed to be a deoxidizer for that aluminum siding that we're cleaning off, which we'll put a link to this cleaning solution in the description for those people who are wondering what it is. But yeah.
Spraying and scrubbing.
This is satisfying. It gets really clean right there.
Yeah. Both the north side and the south side were really dirty.
They were nasty.
So yeah, it was kind of nice to be able to see spraying it off.
And what you just saw me doing was going through and caulking all the holes and filling all the gaps up. Here I'm using grout to fill in
the top.
Yeah.
What is that called?
Those stones have a name.
Yeah.
I forgot the name of those stones are.
Not capstones, but I don't know.
Let's go with capstones because that sounds good.
Yeah, that's not it.
Those are capstones from here on forth. Filling them with grout.
Now we are prepping to start priming. Prepping to prime.
Prepping to prime. And you're doing that by taping everything.
Well, at first, we really ended up taping more before doing the paint. But
True.
before we primed, we just taped off the doors. Since we are replacing the windows, it was nice that we didn't actually have to tape off the windows. But for anyone else watching who may be doing their own home repainting, you probably will have to tape off your windows unless you're going to be replacing them also.
Mm-hmm. How'd you like priming?
It was fine.
Anything you wish you would have done differently for priming?
Just in general, I wish we had taped more all around. Like from the beginning, probably should have taped more.
Of the soffits?
And definitely, and definitely before painting, we should have taped more.
Yeah. It would have gone a lot faster if we would have taped and plastic all the soffits and then all the foundation.
Yes, it would have. But in the moment, it's always like, oh, you don't really need to do that. But you do.
Yeah.
It's way helpful.
So don't do what we did. Go ahead and tape off the soffits.
Our friend Brent probably would have known.
Yeah.
He probably would have been like, oh, those silly kids, what are they doing?
That way, you're not... See, we have this piece of foam you see Rachel carrying around here.
Which the foam worked all right for the prime because the soffits and everything we were potentially overspraying on was white.
Yeah.
So it didn't really matter a whole lot if we got a little extra primer on things. But as you'll see, and I mean, as you already saw, our final color is blue. And you can definitely tell when the blue gets on things that aren't supposed to be blue.
Yes. But yeah, we gave this a shot where we used the piece of insulation foam. It's a rigid foam. They kind of block all the overspray from hitting the soffits or from spraying out along the side of the house. And then after we were going with the paint sprayer, we had to come back with a paintbrush and hit all the places that we couldn't hit with the sprayer.
True.
Across the top, and at the very top are some ridge vents. I don't think they're called, not really ridge vents, they're just attic vents.
Yeah, on the side of the house.
Had to hit those with a brush.
So yeah, touch-ups for the priming. And now I'm starting the taping before we do our paint. And like I said just a few minutes ago, I should have taped even more. But I'm glad I taped what I did.
Yeah.
But yes, don't be surprised. Taping is not a fast job.
The majority of the work is in the prep, in the power washing, and the taping, and the untaping.
And you can tell a good paint job because people tape. Good painters tape.
As we have learned, taped even more than what we've taped.
Yes. I will point out, I was the one that wanted to tape along the soffits, and somebody else might have been like, "Oh no, we don't need to do that." But I was like, "Yeah, I think it will be really helpful."
And it was.
Not naming any names.
I don't know who you're referring to.
Who else would have? Yeah, I don't know either.
Probably.
And then our little makeshift scaffolding.
Oh yeah, we just took two 2x10s and nailed some joining pieces of wood together.
It was a little cumbersome, but it got the job done.
Yeah. And
it
then,
was much handier than just being on a ladder.
Yeah. And now our first coat of blue goes on.
Yes, first coat of blue.
Exactly like the primer. Spraying it on.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a pretty blue.
Yes, I'm really happy with how it turned out. Anyone who has done anything with paint on a large scale knows that a small sample of paint can sometimes look very different once you get it on a house. And it's always a bit of a surprise to still see it. So it's good when it goes on the pleasant side of surprises versus, oh drat, what color did we pick?
And when you do your first coat, don't go really heavy. You want to do 2 light coats. Because if you do 1 thick coat, you're going to end up with runs. And then to come back with a brush.
True. But that was I think my other takeaway was to brush as you do your 1 coat, and then brush the underside of your siding.
Oh yeah, all the little lap areas.
Yeah, and take a brush across there, or at least make sure you've sprayed up underneath there, because that was really annoying. That was where a lot of, here I am going back and touching up, and there was just a lot of places along where the siding meets the next piece of siding that still had quite a bit of primer showing.
Yeah. I think you spent a solid day priming, a solid day spraying the paint color, and another solid day of just doing touch-up.
Yep.
Touching up
It's
across
it
under
was
the
a
eaves.
week of painting.
Yeah. And then there's about a day spent masking and a day spent unmasking.
Yeah, true. It was like second touch-up / take off tape day.
Yeah. So it really was, this is a 5-day job, I would say, for 2 semi-amateur people.
Yes.
With a paint sprayer and a couple ladders.
Yeah. And granted, I was working by myself for a good portion of that. I mean, not the day that we did, obviously, where you saw the 2 of us working, but if you had 2 people touching up at the same time, it could go maybe a little faster.
You could probably get done in 3.
Yeah.
But man, I really like that color.
Me too. It's pretty.
Oh yeah, and we painted the garage door the same, not tan, what's the color? Cream color as a brick, which Rachel doesn't like the cream anymore, but I still like the cream.
The window trim is all white, and I don't like the cream next to the white.
I understand. Overall, it is a very beautiful color combination.
It's better than it was before.
Oh, and here is your retouching up again and then untaping at the same time.
Yes. You can see because then you can tell the windows, the blue comes off around the window. The funny part was the tape was a very close color to the color of the house.
Such a good job for your first time ever painting a house.
Oh, thanks. I enjoyed painting. And taping. Once you like commit to doing it, it's like one of those things that it's like, oh, it seems annoying, but then it's not too bad.
Wow, look at that painting. Those people are professionals.
Hopefully. Minus a few snafus.
So, in other news, besides we just watched us talk about amazing painting, would be the thing behind us. We have a trailer.
We got a trailer. Welcome the trailer to the Raptor team.
It doesn't have a name yet. We're still
but it will.
thinking of a name.
And once we get it named and kind of, we just got it today.
Yes.
So once we get acquainted with it, we'll give you guys a more official tour of the Raptor mobile.
Yes, because it's more than just a trailer. Because
it's also our home. Oh no, just kidding.
it's also.
I wasn't sure what you were doing with it's more than just a trailer. What is it?
I was gonna say, it's also a whole bunch of tools.
Oh, true. Yes. So we will have new goodies to display.
So yeah,
and we made a new friend.
Yeah.
So
we'll do a special video dedicated to just the trailer.
Yes.
The things we got and the cool guy we met.
Yes. So how we came to acquire our new trailer. And on the note of cool people, I also wanted to say this was a very fun week for meeting people in our neighborhood.
True.
Because when you are working on houses, you're doing all that stuff inside and people realize you're there working, but it's once you get some new paint on the outside or do something outside, people are like, oh my gosh. And so we had multiple people stop and say how excited they were about the house.
Mm-hmm.
And we've just enjoyed, getting to meet the fun people that are living around, and we'll hopefully have a new fun renter before too long.
Hopefully so.
Yes. All right. Well, I guess. Do we have anything else?
That's it.
That's a wrap.
Toy.